Alright, we're here with JC, Whitney, and Carrie. We got the Manufacturing Training Center. Here we got JC.
Hi guys.
And we're going to video just making our, drilling our holes for our mandrels to wrap our wires with. And these two mandrels, we have a 1/4 inch, which is what decimals?
0.25.
0.25, and we have a 3/8.
0.375.
Thank you, JC. So we're going to drill the holes. JC's made these great forms. Check this out. Alright, this is going to be for a coil winding desktop device here. So there's a hole for the wire to be fed through on the back. And very important to see that there's a raised screw right in the middle, and that's you're going to wrap your wire around.
That will come clearer when you see it happening. Alright, I'll just use that as a base because I don't mind if that gets chewed up.
So you've chosen these two mandrels for 18 gauge wire. What do you suggest for the 14 gauge?
You want a 5/32 inch difference. I use a little bit less than that. I use 3/8 and 6 millimeter because 6 millimeter is slightly smaller than 1/4 inch. But your 16 gauge wire is a 1/16 inch, so you double that, you get an 1/8. If your mandrels are an 1/8 inch difference, they're not going to slide together well. So you need a little bit more space than an 1/8 inch.
Okay.
Or a slightly smaller mandrel, so you have more, a little more than an 1/8 inch difference. Okay, where's that pin's right there, so I want the hole right there.
Nice hole.
Make sure that's going to work. It's a little bit tight. Just a little bit tight. That's better.
You want to drill that hole straight down too. You're not angling it. You want to make
Well, you want to. I'm trying to be nice.
Yep.
Try to be as, make it look nice, and that way, if you have to put another one in, it's easy.
Okay, so we're going for the smaller bar now.
Just do a quick check, make sure that's close enough. Yeah.
Alright. So we're doing up 2 of these. These we're going to bring with us as we go teach workshops, thanks to JC. And then we'll have some clamps here. Clamp them down onto a table.
That's going to be no problem. That's all right.
Okay.
Well, when you're working with pine, if you're building these, try to make them out of the hardest wood you can get, oak, ash, something. Don't use pine. I use pine on these because that's all I had. But they're not going to last very long. You want the hardest wood you can get your hands on for this plate. Okay, so that's that. Ready to go?
Okay, then you can take a little, what is that called?
Needle file.
A needle file, and just kind of round out those holes so they're nice and smooth.
Yeah. Yeah, it just makes them a little more reliable, last a little longer. And it opens the hole up because it was 3/8 drill, 3/8 mandrel. That doesn't really work. You need a little bit of clearance in there. So you want it a little bit sloppy. Not very much though. There, those are done.
Okay, what JC is doing here is he is using a file to smooth out this bar because you don't want it to be damage your coil. So
yeah, nicks on the bar will make it difficult to get the coils off, and they'll scratch them. So take care of your tools. You want them as smooth and clean as possible.
a lot of times also when you cut these bars at the end, you'll get a big burr at the end, and then it'll be hard to take your coil off. So use the nice smooth end. If you're going to cut your bars in half, use a file and file that end nice and smooth on the bottom.
Okay. All right. Straighten the end of the wire out nice. Now, as Whitney showed, there's a hole in here. This is to guide the wire when you're making your coil. So total control of the wire. Now, I've done this a number of times. There's a number of videos on it. This is the simplest way that I know how to do this. And as you take the wire, you bend the end about a ½ inch at 90 degrees. Get your mandrel ready. Then it goes under the screw and not quite enough. There we go. Into the drill chuck. Now for this style, you want to make sure that your drill is running in reverse. Why didn't it grab it? Alright, we're going to have to do this a little bit differently because this wire is really soft. So we need to get it started the hard way. Yeah, sorry you can't see this, but I got to keep control of the wire. There we go. That should be enough. Now you probably want to be like over here. If you can flip that screen and turn the camera on. What am I running into? Nothing.
Is it just too soft a wire there? It's kind of...
Yeah, I kind of went way too fast, but that's okay. No worries.
Maybe with the 18 gauge is just not strong enough for...
Yeah, this is really soft wire.
Yeah. Alright, so the 18 gauge is a little soft to run down around that screw, so he's going to hold it. If you're using 14 gauge, this isn't a problem. Something a little heavier.
Man, getting started is not working very well. If you had a hole in the mandrel, that would make things a little easier. let this come through and hit you on the thumb, it'll cut your thumb up. And that's how you make coils.
Beautiful. Thank you, JC.